Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing out there today, this August 5th at the time of recording? Pretty early in the morning. At least it feels like it to me. It's actually not. Ugh. It's been a long morning for me. But I got a couple of things to talk about and some fun things to go over. I got a little list for you guys. Haven't done one of those in a while. So let's jump into things. Welcome to Brad's Bad Show About Games. My name is Brad, and I am not a former Nickelodeon actor turned pop music superstar. But I know somebody who is. And she's coming to Fortnite tomorrow with a big event show. The Rift Tour was announced last week, and we now know it's going to star Ariana Grande, as everyone had been suspecting it would. We know from Apple versus Epic, that little court drama there that happened, and I think is actually still going on, that they were working on a deal with Ariana, like Lady Gaga and some others, I think. And it looks like it's finally Ariana's time. Now, there's been some things teased, and the idea seems to be that you'll be rifting through different parts of Fortnite's past. So, like, the Storm King showed up in one of the teasers. So that's actually a very cool idea, the idea that maybe you can rift to, like, different places. Because we did this in the Travis Scott event. A lot of it took place on the island, and then things happened and changed, and then we were suddenly underwater. Then we were above the island, and we were then we were in outer space, and then we were looking into like a giant void with just straight up light. And so this seems to be something similar. But it looks like you'll be taken back to various portions of things that have already happened in Fortnite, like past events. So the Storm King showing up in Battle Royale, I think, was a thing. This is before I started playing, so I'm not entirely sure. I would assume the robot versus the monster event. That was a pretty big event from what I've seen. And we'll probably see some things like that, some iconic characters. I know that they were teasing like a giant cuddle team leader in one of the areas, so that could be something. I'm pretty excited about it. The Fortnite events are usually pretty fun. Even the ones that are sort of lackluster are still, they're still entertaining. And so, the only one I could think of that wasn't like the super, like I think the weakest one I can remember as far as an event, I'd say was maybe the device. Like I just overall, like we got some, like it felt like it wasn't that great. Like it gave us the flood and everything, but it felt like that one could have had a little bit more. A few spires popped out from around the agency, and there was some lightning and stuff. I think that one was more important for the lore than it was for the spectacle, if you know what I mean. So it was cool still. It was still cool, but I think it needed just a little bit more kick, maybe. But it's still not a bad event. But this one should be really, really cool. There are two versions of the Ariana skin. The one you see here is like some kind of like thing where she's wearing a dress made out of a rift. And it looks cool, but I think I like her standard, just like regular Ariana skin better. I think that one just looks better to me. Although the wearing the rift thing is kind of a cool idea though. Her back bling is a funny, colorful version of her actual pet pig named Piggy Smalls. I did not know Ariana Grande had a pet pig. Much less a pet pig named named after Biggie Smalls. I just that was new information to me. But I think it's cute that they put him in there. And if it wasn't, like, I'm not gonna buy this skin. I think it looks good though. I'm not gonna buy it, but I do like the pig back bling because he's a rainbow colored pig and he's wearing big shades. He's real cartoony looking, and it's not a realistic looking pig, and he just bobs his head. It's really for I don't know any other word to say that it's cute, I guess, but that's a good call there. That's a fun little back bling. You'll probably see that one a lot, I think. When people who buy this skin, they'll probably wear that one a lot. It's fun having a little pet pig on your back. Sort of like how Rocket Raccoon was real popular when during the Marvel season. You saw a lot of people using Rocket because you could use him with anything. I don't know if you can use this pig though with anything though. I would imagine you could. But you also, if you're part of the Fortnite crew, if you log in starting today, you can get some free stuff that's related to the Rift tour. Like there's a free glider, and then you get some other stuff. There's some missions coming out for the thing that you can do. You can get some free rewards based on this. There's a free emote even. So I did though, because Ariana's already in the shop. Her stuff is already in the shop. I did go ahead and buy the emote that comes with her, and you ride on a glittery llama corn. It's a really good emote. I had to buy that at least. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to this event. Specifically to bring it up. Hopefully this event will be as popular for my channel as the Travis Scott event was. It took a little while for people to find that, but it was my most popular video for a long time. So hopefully Ariana will help my channel out a little bit too. But hey, I'm looking forward to this. I'm sure it'll be exciting. The teases are pretty good. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens. Somebody else coming to Fortnite. Kind of came out of nowhere, and I think they revealed it, what was it, like 2 days ago now, maybe? I don't remember. My days are sort of blurring. But, Fortnite all of a sudden posted that 2 new challenges were arriving, and, of course, referring to Street Fighter. And it turns out Cammy and Guile are coming to the game at some point in the near future. This is like right on the heels of Bloodsport being added. I'm not going to get the Bloodsport skin, although I'm curious as to whether the sprays that come with him are teases of the rest of the Suicide Squad characters showing up. It may or may not be, because I don't know why they would be included in him. But then again, they did. I think Beast Boy is actually part of the Teen Titans set that Raven was a part of. So maybe they're just leaving that as open as a chance, as a possibility for the future. But yeah. So first off, cool that they got more Street Fighter characters. Even though these characters are known for fighting with their bare hands, that's one thing. But if there were any characters who would not feel weird if you saw them with a gun, besides Sagat, because of that 90s cartoon, because that was the first thing I saw people. One of the first responses I saw to that was somebody posted a picture from the 90s Street Fighter cartoon and Sagat with a gun. But if you were gonna put 2 characters in Fortnite from Street Fighter that look like they used guns, it would be Cammy and Guile. Now, opinion, Cammy looks really, really cool. I like what they've done with her. Of course, they had to censor her leotard gear because otherwise, it's a third-person shooter game. It's popular with kids. It's a teen-rated game, yes, and they shouldn't probably have to worry too much about that. But again, the big audience, and I would question that because they do have characters from rated R movies like The Predator and The Terminator, and like there are shows and movies and things and characters referenced in this game that shouldn't. Like the Deadpool movies are rated R. And there was a whole debacle over that of parents taking their kids to the Marvel movie. Oh, it's Deadpool. It's a Marvel movie. We'll take our 4-year-old to see Deadpool. And oopsie, you just saw your kid just saw his first set of bare breasts. Okay, there you go. Like nobody, like people are dumb and they don't pay attention to anything anyway. But but while they probably shouldn't have to worry about Cammy's butt cheeks being an issue in a teen rated game because she's from a teen rated game, I don't mind what they did with her with the tights under the leotard. I think it looks good. Like I'm not one of these people who would get like super upset that they had to change her, specifically for this game. I think it looks cool, and I think that her alt, she's got both of these characters have like a variant, and I think her other variant looks good too. I've never seen that outfit on her before. Like Guile gets like a summer sort of look where I think he's wearing shades or something. But they both get a built-in emote, which is them doing their signature moves like Ryu and Chun-Li did. Hers is like, I think it's the Talon Spike or something like that, Spiral Arrow. I can't remember which one it is. I'm not super familiar with Cammy's moveset. But Guile's he does a flash kick and then pulls out a comb and combs his hair. That was perfect for him. I do have to say though, as much as I think Cammy looks great, Guile, man, what's up with that face? That's a funky face, man. Like, what happened to this dude? I think his hair is too big too, to be honest. I think if his hair was a little smaller, it's a little bit smaller. Like, I guess maybe there's just the struggle of trying to make this guy look like he sort of fits in with the Fortnite world. It's just his face looks so. There's something wrong with his face. I don't know what it is. His face and his hair. Dial his hair back a little bit, and that might fix things. I think maybe the hair is just it's too big. Maybe that's the problem. I'm trying to look at this image and cut his hair off a little bit in my head, and it seems like it makes it not quite as bad. Maybe it's just the hair is just too much and it's making the face stand out more as it's so close. But I think this is still cool. I mean, you get a loading screen with them too, so you didn't get. Oh no, we did get that. How did I forget about the iconic Ryu and Chun-Li Fortnite loading screen? With Ryu's big smile that was literally everywhere. I think they even put that that loading screen, I think, into Street Fighter V because people were having such fun with it. So, if I'm not mistaken, they did that. I may be wrong on that, but I could swear I saw somebody said that or somebody was playing Street Fighter V and then the loading screen was in that game. So I don't know, but yeah, this is cool. A lot of collabs happening right now, all at the same time. Like I said, Bloodsport just dropped in the shop. Ariana's in there now. Cammy and Guile will be in there soon. The Cammy Cup is actually happening right now, if I'm not mistaken. I think that just went live. Superman, next week, Superman arrives. So next Tuesday, you can get Superman if you got the Battle Pass. So that's like 5 days away. Finally, the Man of Steel arrives, and who knows who he's bringing with him. Because I figure, like, there was remember the whole ending of the Batman Fortnite crossover where we see Lex Luthor and the Batman Who Laughs teaming up with Deathstroke and Dr. Sloan in Metropolis, and a big rift opens over Metropolis. Who knows? Something big could happen next week. There's also one more thing before we get off of Fortnite stuff as far as the story is the poster, the billboards that are up now. They're sort of interacting. They're advertising like Meowscles cat food, but if you walk up to them, it changes to a black screen with white text that just says submit. This is a reference to They Live. It's a film that starred pro wrestler Rowdy Roddy Piper about aliens invading and disguising and I don't know if you really if there's a disguise so much as like brainwashed people and have hypnotized people. into not being able to see that what they really are. Yeah, that's what it. That's the right word for it. They've hypnotized people into not being able to tell the difference between humans and these alien invaders that have basically subjected them to propaganda through marketing and television and radio. And the only way to see through it is with a special pair of sunglasses. And like, I can't remember what Roddy Piper's character's name is, to be honest. It's been a long time. I saw most of this film a long time ago. But I think everybody knows the general premise of it. The scene where there's a guy holding money, and then Roddy Piper's character, he looks at it without the glasses, and it's just like, it's a couple of dollar bills. Nothing out of the ordinary. But then he puts the glasses back on and looks at the dollar bills, and they're all just like empty sheets of paper that says, "This is your God." In other words, you people worship this money, that worship this piece of paper that only has value because we say it has value. All the billboards when he's got the glasses on, all the billboards with all the advertisements and commercials and promos on it, all the TV shows, all these alien personalities that have convinced people that they're really human. Everything just says, don't question authority, obey, no free will, we are the truth, stuff like that. So that's a cool thing. I wonder if they would be able to get permission to use Roddy Piper's likeness to put him in the game with the glasses on, like they did with like the Terminator and the ladies from Terminator and Alien, like Ripley and Sarah Connor. Yeah, there we go. I wonder if they could do that. I wonder if people would be interested in that. Do like a whole parody trailer where he comes in. Like they don't talk, obviously, and Roddy Piper has passed away. He's been gone for a while. But they could do a recreation of... Since one of the things that's going on now is that the aliens are disguised as humans, and that's part of it, you could do a recreation of the scene where he comes in there, the iconic line where he says, "I'm here to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum." That's an iconic line. They should, if they could do that, like they like I said, they couldn't get away with that, because they're not going to have somebody swear in the game, but they could recreate that scene where he walks in, he puts the shades on and sees the aliens there and just opens fire. And then it cuts and, it's like, they, Fortnite X, they live, there we go. I mean, probably not going to happen, but just an idea. Anyway, there we go. One more thing that seems to have been now 100% confirmed. Naruto is confirmed for next season, and Fortnite's trying to work him into the Battle Pass. So whether he's in the Battle Pass or not now, it seems like it is a confirmed sure thing. We will see Naruto at some point after this month. So once Season 8 starts, Naruto's on his way. And so this opens up the door because it seems like they've been trying to play with the idea of having anime characters join up. Because remember, they did the Lexa skin. It was a Battle Pass skin for Season 5. First anime girl, and then she had a brother. What was his name? Oren, I think. And then they did like this Anime Legends pack, which added 3 new anime girls. He's not anime, but Rick Sanchez is cartoon character, so they definitely want to pull more cartoon characters into this world, characters who exist only as animation. Like the DC superheroes have existed in like comic book form, in live action form, and in cartoon form, and so like it seems like they've just made the decision to base it more like live action-y kind of thing. But the characters, they're doing like the cell shaded thing so they can sort of retain that animated feel, and I like that. And I like that it's not just anime, that they did go with Rick And because, like, remember, everybody wanted Peter Griffin. I still would like to see Peter Griffin in the game just for just how hilarious it would be to have him in there. But I hope that the commotion over that would convince them to do a Peter Griffin skin. If Rick can show up, then there's nothing like if and this goes back again to like the content ratings. Like, Rick and Morty's not appropriate for kids, but like Rick and Morty both showed up in Space Jam 2. And now Rick is a battle pass skin in the game that mostly kids play. So like, what are you gonna do? They see Rick, they're gonna look up clips from Rick and Morty that they probably shouldn't look up, probably, but like, that's a decision you made. But anyway, tonight, to go back to Naruto, I do hope that this leads to a trend of getting more anime characters, although I wonder who exactly they would get, because when you think of anime characters and guns, Naruto is not the first character that comes to mind. Like, when I think of anime characters with a gun, I think of Spike Spiegel, of Vash the Stampede, of Motoko Kusanagi, from Ghost in the Shell. I think of Alucard from Hellsing. I think like those characters. Even Space Dandy at least had a laser. I mean, he would be appropriate for this season. I think that I don't think Space Dandy's like mainstream enough though. I think you have to be a man of quality, a person of quality to really appreciate Space Dandy. Hey, Epic, put Space Dandy in Fortnite and you will be the best video game that ever existed and ever will. Give me a Space Dandy skin, please. Space Dandy and Peter Griffin. Put them both in the game tomorrow. But yeah, this is fine. I'm like I said, I'm mostly interested in what the story is going to be about. If he's in the battle pass, then that means the story has to there's got to be a reason for it. Like, it makes sense that the alien invasion theme has Rick and Superman as part of the battle pass, because Rick deals with interdimensional and outer space travel all the time. Superman does the same thing. He is an extraterrestrial. He's not from the Earth. So it makes sense that they're in this game. The same reason as to why they did the hunters in season 5, the bounty hunters and everything. You had Predator and the Mandalorian as a part of that battle pass. So, like I said, and if you want to go back to season 3, where the island was flooded, who showed up there? Aquaman. Makes sense. So, yeah. I want to know what the story's going to be. Why is Naruto showing up in the next season? What will the theme be? Somebody threw out the idea that the theme will be ninjas, and like, ninjas is cool, but like, is that where we're going from, an alien invasion to just ninjas? Like, I don't know. I just hope that there's like I just hope that there's like I hope the story makes sense. Like, I still care about the Battle Royale story. Like, I know it's all just, I know that all these collabs and the riffs and the multiverse is just an excuse to do all these things to make money. I know that, but I care for the lore. I want to know why these characters are showing up. Like, if you're gonna just throw all these skins of these iconic and popular characters, you want me to buy them, like, then give me a valid reason for them to show up in the story, other than oopsie daisy, they just showed up. But anyway, that's just I want it to make sense. That's all. I'll mention this in passing. Speaking of anime, there's a Dragon Ball FighterZ show. I think they're going to announce some changes to it or something. I don't know. Probably not a new game. I don't think anything's really going to be... I don't think you're going to get really any like breaking news of any kind out of this. But there it is. I mentioned it here on the off chance that maybe they announced another FighterZ 2 or another wave of DLC. But I think the game's done. Personally, I think it's done. This is August 9th, so that's a few days away. I'll try to keep up with this. Try to keep up with some of the Xenoverse stuff. Last I heard, Super Jiren is coming to the game. I don't know if that's out yet or not, but yeah, there's you some fighters news. I know it's not the one you wanted. Oh crap! I forgot to mention this. Did I? Hold on. Let me see. I had something I was going to reference, and now I'm not sure what I did with it. I had an image. Did I delete it? I may have deleted it. Oh no. I mean, it's not a big deal. I was just going to mention something in the show. Man, I must have deleted the image. At least I didn't forget to talk about it. So I don't have the image. I'll use the time I was going to talk. I was going to blow past this. Maximilian Dude from Yo Video Games it started a hashtag free MVC2 campaign to get Marvel vs. Capcom. Oh wait, I can use this image before I go on. While I'm getting the image, Max has started a campaign to get Marvel vs. Capcom out of the limbo that it's in, because you cannot play Marvel vs. Capcom legally on any current service, and that's terrible. And Max is right. The game deserves to be playable, and there's no reason as to why it shouldn't be, at least that I can think of. Like, of course, and by the way, this image is from X-Men vs. Street Fighter. I had downloaded it for something else, and that's what I'm fixing to get into. But you'll see what I'm talking about in just a minute. But you can play Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Ultimate. You can play Marvel 3 and Marvel Infinite. You can still play those games, but for some reason, you can't play Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And it's one of the most popular fighting games of all time. Now, you can play Street Fighter vs. X-Men, some of the older, the X-Men Children of the Atom or whatever it was, Marvel Superheroes, and Marvel vs. Capcom 1 if you own the right Arcade 1-Up cabinet. So Arcade 1-Up has released some of these old Marvel fighting games on their big physical cabinets. Now, of course, maybe you don't want to pay $300, $400, $500 for a big cab or a 3/4 scale cabinet, and that's fine. But why are these games limited only to the cabinets? Like, if you have the rights to the game, why why wouldn't you want to maybe make these available for purchase by themselves on Steam? I mean, they're older games. I get it. Like, throw $10, put Marvel vs. Capcom or any of these other games on Steam for like $10, $15 a piece, and people will buy that. People would even be willing to pay $30 for some of these old games. Like I think, like, if you're going to charge $60 for like an old game like this, though, no, I wouldn't do that. But like, give these old games that people love, put them on a current console for a reasonable price, and people will buy them. People want to buy them because the only way you can play this game now is through like an Xbox 360. I had Marvel 2 on my 360. My 360 kind of went to poo-poo. So there's I think it still works, but it's really, really loud when I turn it on. I haven't used it in a long time. But I would certainly buy Marvel vs. Capcom 2, an HD release. I think, like, who is it? Digital Eclipse, maybe, I think I saw. I'm not sure what the name of the company who had previously handled it or whatever it was. But supposedly they're looking into it because free MVC2 did trend on Twitter. So Max was able to get that to trend, and apparently some of the folks who could do something about that are looking into possibly fixing that. I said this the other day. I said this when talking about Arcade 1-Up. If Arcade 1-Up has the rights to these games, I assume they only have the rights to put them on the consoles, on their arcade cabinets, and maybe they can't do anything with the games themselves. But if whoever can get the rights between Disney, Marvel, Capcom, whoever needs to, whoever needs to be involved, to do an HD release of this game, like say, make it in widescreen, if you can, make it in widescreen if you can, give it online play that doesn't suck, and people will eat this game up again. So, do it. Give us, bring back Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It's one of the most iconic fighting games of all time. One of the greatest rosters of a fighting game you're ever going to see. Like, it's time. If we could still play if we could still play Marvel 3 and Marvel Infinite, then I don't know why we can't have Marvel 2 and Marvel 1 if you wanted that, or the others, and just put them all on Steam, put them on the Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo's eShops, and let people have them again. But anyway, we'll move on from there because I got something else I want to do. I got 10 characters that I think should be in the we're stick on fighting games and go back. We're circling back around Nickelodeon again because I made the reference to Ariana Grande because that's where she came from. But I've got 10 characters here that I think fit the purpose of being in Nickelodeon's All-Star Brawl. Because I want to do this some more, and I'll probably do this again before the game comes out for another list of 10 characters I want. Because I want this game to be successful. But these are the characters I thought of that I think best fit what the game should be, or for the top 10 characters I think are the most appropriate for a fighting game. So, we'll start off first character, the Crimson Chin. Like this is the Fairly Odd Parents. Now there's no representation of Fairly Odd Parents in the game yet. I feel pretty sure that Timmy, Cosmo, and Wanda will be in. But if you're talking about a fighting game, then the most iconic hero from that show is the Crimson Chin. Like, hands down. So, and you could give him an alt that, or, either an alt skin a variant of him, or a Echo Fighter, if you want to do Echo Fighters, of his alter ego, the Nega Chin. There was a whole special about that. But yeah, I think Crimson Chin would work. There's a lot of, Nickelodeon has a lot of parody heroes that sort of, stand up. Because, the Crimson Chin's look, he's very much inspired by, the Tick. And the Chin thing is a joke about Jay Leno, and that's fine, because Jay Leno even voices him. But I think, this big dude, Powdered Toast Man versus the Crimson Chin, that's a fun, super, Nickelodeon superhero fight. And I kind of have that as a thing that I want to see. For other things. But yeah, I think number one off, big jacked superhero guy, the chin based moves would probably be funny. You could give Timmy a cleft variant too. That would be fun. You could have standard Timmy, and then have him show up as also as just an alternate skin of him as Cleft the Boy Chin Wonder. Do a tag team match, 2-on-2, Crimson Chin and Cleft. That would work. I just thought of that right now. That's pretty. See, I have ideas for this game. Implement them, please. Again, please listen to me. I'm begging you. You don't have to pay me for these ideas. Freely take them, please. I'm offering them to you. But aside of Crimson Chin, the other character I think is best suited for a fighting game like this, Jorgen von Strangle. Another big jack dude, another big guy with a big chin too. He's the toughest fairy in the universe. Possibly one of the most powerful beings in all of the Fairly Odd Parents continuity. And he loves to cause pain. It just makes sense that you would want to throw this big jacked fairy with his destructive magic into a big brawler like this. Not, like I said, imagine you just got that big wand and you just swing it. you know. But see, I don't know. Would he prefer to punch people? Or would he prefer to just explosive magic them, you know? I guess we'll just have to see in that case. But yeah, if you're going to put two characters who deserve to be in a fighting game from Nickelodeon, Crimson Chin, Jorgen, definitely. Now we're going to shift gears a little bit to another Butch Hartman series, unfortunately. But this series actually had some pretty good action and good story, considering it, you know, all else aside. But Danny Phantom's already in the game, so why not put his big arch nemesis in there, Vlad Plasmius? Like, he was the guy who basically had the exact same thing happen to him that Danny did, more or less. But he's had it for years, and he's learned how to control his powers, where Danny is still learning at that point. Plus he looks cool. He's vicious vampire-looking demonic ghost. He looks evil. I think he would be a fun character to play as. And you know, I still like the idea of like it's like Smash Brothers. Like, I like when they add villains to the game. I like that they added Sephiroth. I like that Ridley's in there, and K. Rool and Bowser, the Koopalings, Dark Samus. All these villainous characters, like, they're fun to play as. So put this guy. He's probably the closest character that they've got that looks like somewhat satanic. I mean, he just reeks of evil. So put him in there. It'd be fun to have him in there. And we're going to go one more. I got one more ghost for you, and this one's just purely personal. But also, I think she's got enough of a fan following. And you probably already tell who I'm talking about. To justify her being in there. Ember McLean. I think Ember, and yeah, we know why everybody likes Ember. She's hot. Figuratively and literally. Her hair is made of fire. But like, I think that, like, it's also like, yes, she's got a fan base, she's popular, but she's also sort of niche enough. Like, people might remember Danny Phantom, but maybe they don't necessarily remember Ember specifically. So I think she's got like it's like a cult following in a way. And I think, like, her being like a musical villain would make her unique, and that she could play music as her, you know, would be her weapon. That's reference to a Disturbed song. And use my music as a weapon. That's from Dropping Plates. You could do things like that. And here's another idea I just thought about. You know, the Loud House kids are, I don't know how many of them are going to get into the game. We know 2 of them, Lincoln and Lucy, are in the game. If they put Luna in, she's a musical character. What if they have like special victory animations? Like, the Smash characters don't have, you know, the Smash characters don't have team emotes, or whatever you want to call them, team victory animations at the end, where they can interact with each other. They just each do one of the ones that they were assigned. What if you say, you know, what if you had like Ember in and then Luna Loud in, and because they both are musical characters, and they end up, their victory thing together is them playing a guitar riff together. That would be kind of a cool thing. Like, I thought it was I thought it would have been a really cool thing if they had done it in Smash, since Ken and Terry are in there. If you picked Ken and Terry together as a team, then if you win, then Ken does his iconic thing where he picks Terry's hat up off the ground and throws it to Terry, and Terry's like, like, you know, like a, hey, we're both dudes from, you know, we're both, I think, supposed to be I think they're both supposed to be American, but they're supposed to be like on good terms. They're on friendly terms. They're cool with each other. So Terry's hat's on the ground. Ken picks it up and throws it to him. So I'm a little disappointed that nothing like that actually ended up in Smash because of the way Smash works. But they could do that here. They could do that with these characters because they own them outright, and I think that would give this game something that Smash doesn't have. But yeah, I would say put Ember in. So I think just one. I think she has a cool design. Let's just be honest. But staying on the topic of villains though. I think this character has to be in the game since 2 of the Ninja Turtles are in and the other 2 are sure to be in. You got to put Shredder in there. You can't have a fighting game with the Ninja Turtles and not have some version of the Shredder in there. Whether it's this, since they're going with the 90s sort of style for the Turtles, I would like to assume that they may have variant skins or whatever you want to call them that make them more like maybe the 2012 Turtles, maybe the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles designs. I think that would be cool to where you could pick between which ones you want to play as. They're like, hey, you're coming into this game, you're a fan of the old school Turtles, you can pick the old school Turtles. Hey, maybe you remember the 2003 Turtles series. Maybe you can pick them. Maybe you can pick the 2012 skins. Maybe you could pick the Rise skins. That would be like, it would be fun to have choices. And the thing is that like Shredder though, it seemed like the versions of Shredder though are very, very different. Like, if you've seen Turtles in Time or whatever they're called, there was a special Turtles movie where 3 different incarnations of the Turtles interact with each other, and I think it starts off in the 2003 series. That Shredder is big and intimidating, and is very similar to the way they portrayed him in like the 2012 series. The original version of him, like in the 90s, of course, it's a cheesy show. But I just think, again, regardless of what version of Shredder ends up in the game, you gotta have Shredder in there. Again, I'm pushing for villains to be in this game too. Please give us some villains. Now this is gonna be a different one here, because I'm sure he's not gonna make it in. Although using the Reptar logic, because Reptar is a fictional character even in the show he's from. So I see no reason why, if they're going to do Jimmy Neutron reps, why you couldn't put in Ultra Lord. Like, that was the big hero from that show, because Sheen loved Ultra Lord. And Jimmy even invented a game pyramid that they could put themselves into the video games to fight with him. Like, so I think that would be a fun rep. I mean, it fits, again, the superhero theme. You got to put some fighting games characters in there. Again, I'm looking at these as who would be fun to fight as. But I don't really have much to say about Ultra Lord. He's a toy. He's an action figure. He's a superhero cartoon or whatever you want to call it. He's the same thing that Reptar is to Rugrats. Ultra Lord to Jimmy Neutron is what Reptar is to Rugrats. And if Reptar can be real in this game, then Ultra Lord can be real in the game. That's how I see it. But now next is a character that I'm sure is going to be in the game. She has to be in the game. Ginny Wakeman, aka XJ9. She's got to be in the game. She's like the cutest. She's the cutest death machine ever to exist, basically. Like, she's built for a game like this. Literally, her entire body is a weapon and has weapons built into it. There's there's countless devices and things that she has. They could even make new ones just for this if they needed to. They wouldn't have to. I mean, as long as all the different moves and stuff she had in the show. So, like, you can't have this game without Ginny. If Ginny doesn't make it in, that's going to be a big letdown. So, hopefully we'll see her in there. Again, like, there were a few... there was an episode where she was trying to be like a fashion... she wanted to be like a fashionista, and she was trying to compete with the Crush Cousins, who pretty much dominate that kind of thing. And they spray painted her red and gave her flames and stuff. That was kind of cool. And I think there were some other color variants of her that they did for certain outfits, but like you could make the red flamed version of Jenny a skin in the game. So regardless, I think Jenny just needs to be in the game. Like, she's one of those that I would be surprised if she doesn't make it in. I wanted to try not to put a character like that in here, but again, like, this is supposed to be... I made this list primarily for who I think is best suited for a fighting game. Now, the next one kind of contradicts that, because he's not really a fighter. Even his show, we're going back to like the whole idea of fiction. But Kappa Mikey's got to be in this game. Like, that is an obscure show that, you know, it's the perfect thing. It's sort of a niche and forgotten show, but it would work really well to have him in there and give him whatever powers that he was supposed to have in the show, because Mikey, the whole plot is that Mikey is from America and he wins a contest to be in an anime, except the way this works in this show is that the anime characters are all real and it's filmed like a live action show. Now, everybody else in the show is anime except for him, because he's from America. And they all do the stereotypical anime tropes and expressions, you know, where the faces deform and they do the chibi stuff. You know, it doesn't feel like an anime, and the characters, it feels like a low budget sort of, it feels very low budget. But I think that you could have a lot of fun with this, and you could have fun by putting all of the main cast in there. Put all 4 of these characters in there and make them their Lily Moo counterparts, where they actually have powers and can fight. Again, we're using the Reptar rule here because they don't actually have powers. So, and it would give you, like, this would be the closest thing to putting an anime character in this. And the funny thing is that Gonard, the purple guy in the background, who would be their villain, he's voiced by Sean Schemmel, who voices Goku, which of course ended up on Nicktoons for a little while for Dragon Ball Z Kai. So if you want Goku in this game, that's the closest you're going to get, is an anime designed character who in the original show was voiced by the same guy who played Goku. It's sort of like how Smash has Lucario. Schemmel played him as well for the Pokemon movie. But if it were up to me, put Mikey in for sure, and then put in the rest of them. Even put in Guano. Like, Pikachu has been in Smash from the beginning. Put Guano in there. Like, because Guano is obviously a sort of a play on Pikachu. He even though Guano could talk, and it's supposed to be just a costume, the Guano's not really a little furry guy, a little furry animal that can talk. It's just a costume, and apparently he's stuck in it. But I do think he manages to take off the mask at one point. I think it's supposed to be like he's the president's son or something is the big reveal. I can't remember. But like when they're filming Lily Moo, all Guano says is Guano, Guano, like to play off a Pokemon. It's funny, and I want all 5 of them to be in there. 'Cause you got Lily, of course, and Mitsuki, like Guano and Gonard and Mikey. Put them in there. I don't remember any of the villains, because once they finished the Lily Moo stuff, it was more slice of life-y stuff. Wasn't really anything dramatic. It was mostly like Mikey did something stupid, and then they have to fix him up, and all Gonard does is eat. Mitsuki's in love with Mikey, you know, and Lily hates him, but he has a crush on her, and it's just it was a fun show. But I think, yeah, put Mikey in there. Put the whole cast in there, the whole main cast. Now we're getting into some iffy territory here. I think if the rights situation is clear, you put the Green Ranger in there, because Power Rangers is still on Nickelodeon as of right now. And I think, if I remember correctly, I saw something about Hasbro. No, I actually did see the pictures of it. Hasbro's doing a deal with Nickelodeon. It's got to be with Nickelodeon to do Power Rangers action figures of the Turtles. I saw an April O'Neil figure as the Pink Ranger, and I saw Michelangelo as a Yellow Ranger, shell and all. So, if they're doing a Power Rangers TMNT collab with Hasbro, and if Hasbro is working with them to do that, Saban, whoever controls Power Rangers, but Hasbro's working with them and Nickelodeon to do Ninja Turtle Power Ranger figures, then they could put these characters, they can put the Power Rangers in this fighting game. And if you're going to put any of them in there, Tommy Oliver's got to be the one, because he's the one who showed up the most. Because not only would Tommy Oliver as a character, does that appeal to, older fans, but it also appeals to younger fans, because he was in an episode of one of the recent seasons with the Master Morpher, where he can take any former Ranger form he's had and use it, including like the Black Dinozord, the Dino Ranger, whatever that was. I can't remember what his actual name of that one was. I didn't watch that season. The White Tiger Ranger from Mighty Morphin, and of course the Green Ranger here from Mighty Morphin. He was also the Red Zeo Ranger. He could take that form too. So you could put in this character, have a Power Ranger fighting a Ninja Turtle, and I think that would work really well. Again, you could do just like they do for Power Rangers Battle of the Grid, where the White Ranger is a alternate skin for the Green Ranger, although he does have a different finishing move. The White Ranger actually can summon the White Tiger Zord for a move. You can't do that with the Green Ranger. And so this last character that I've got for you is he's very out there. Do I think there's just a realistic chance he could show up? No. But I'm putting this out there because I want it to happen. And it will make sense when you see who it is. And I've mentioned this before. People thought I was a little bit crazy for saying it. I want Ryu in this game for one reason only, and it's a very important reason. It makes sense. Ryu tends to show up wherever he thinks he can get a good fight. And I think I mentioned this before when I talked about this game in a previous episode. He shows up in Smash to fight Nintendo characters. He showed up in Power Rangers Battle for the Grid to fight Power Rangers. He showed up in Marvel vs. Capcom, which we talked about earlier, to fight Marvel superheroes. There was a Street Fighter Mega Man collab. Capcom versus SNK. So Ryu has fought, and Ryu in Fortnite. There you go. Ryu fights everybody in Fortnite with a gun, granted, but it's still Ryu. Ryu is the go-to guy for something like this if you want to really grab people's attention. It makes sense, and it doesn't make sense at the same time. Because again, this is a Nickelodeon fighting game, so you would think, of course, it's going to have characters that are Nickelodeon characters, and that's it. Or characters associated with Nickelodeon. Like I said, the Power Rangers one makes a little less sense because Nickelodeon does not own the rights to Power Rangers. That is not a Nickelodeon franchise the same way that Nickelodeon bought the rights to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The Turtles now belong solely to Nickelodeon. The same way that where Disney bought Marvel and owns all of those characters now. But if Saban, Hasbro, whatever, whoever fully controls the Rangers at this point, are still working with Nickelodeon to have the Rangers on that network, then there's no reason to not put the Rangers in this game at this particular moment. Because if you have the option to use these characters, why wouldn't you? And again, given the other relationship we've seen, where Ryu has shown up in the Power Rangers fighting game, Ryu and Chun-Li both, if you could swing it. And remember, Ryu's already in Smash. This is a Smash clone. Put Ryu in this game because that will shock people. And I think the shock value alone and the hilariousness of seeing Ryu fight SpongeBob and Patrick and the Loud House kids, Reptar, even some of the characters I mentioned, Ryu versus Vlad Plasmius, Ryu versus Jenny XJ9, Ryu versus Jorgen von Strangle. Like, Ryu is a serious fighter. But this is not a serious game, but putting him in this game would make it hilarious. You could maybe even give him some unique character introductions and stuff. Like, I don't know any off the top of my head. Like, SpongeBob loves karate. You could have him do, like, where Ryu's teaching SpongeBob how to do the Hadouken, like, as a cutscene, or Shoryuken. Like, you could do that kind of thing. That would be so funny. Do something with Sandy, too. Sandy's the one who's actually really good at karate. She and SpongeBob were pretty even early in the show, but later seasons they kind of played out that SpongeBob was not quite as good. But anyway, Ryu should be in this game because it makes sense and it doesn't make sense. And that's the best way I know to explain it. So, please, again, Nickelodeon, Hasbro, Spawn, whoever it is who needs to hear this, make the deal happen. Capcom, reach out to them. They're trying to emulate Smash. It's a fighting game. It's a crossover fighting game. Shock the world here and put Ryu in this game. I think it would catch people by surprise. I think it would be a welcome surprise because nobody's really expecting this game. Like I said, the game, they didn't even plan to have DLC in it. So if they're open to that now, then go all the way with it. Like I said, I don't expect this to happen. I think this is probably impossible. I bet nobody there has even thought about doing this. And again, it makes sense and it doesn't make sense. But that's why I want it to happen. It should happen and it shouldn't happen because it's a Nickelodeon game, but he's not Nickelodeon, but he's the go-to crossover fighter character. Him and Chun-Li. I'd put them both in if it were up to me. But that's all I got for you. That's all I could say. And that's where we're going to end the show because I've been talking for an hour. So, hope you enjoyed listening to me go over all that stuff. If there are some characters you think would fit, and like I said, this was a list of characters I think fit for a fighting game. I have more characters that I have more like a list requirement things. Like I want to do one with like who would be the top 10 funniest characters to show up, like the top 10 most meme worthy characters, things like that to show up. I'll probably do those at some point too because I don't know when the game's supposed to come out. They may not even have a date for it yet. I think pre-orders are up though. But other than that, that's all I got. Mario Tennis Aces is getting a free update. They're adding Toadette and some other stuff. I saw that just a little while ago. Not really enough to really throw it in here and make it a topic. But anyway, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.